We're here with BT McNicholl, and he is the co-writer of this wonderful new show at SeaWorld, A Wondrous Night. And can you tell us a little bit about, while you were writing it, what you were trying to accomplish?
Well, in a way, we were trying to create a kind of new Christmas carol, especially for SeaWorld. So every year it would be a tradition that you could go to, take your family and say, oh, I remember this story. It's a story I've heard before, but I love hearing it again every season. It's the nativity story, but it's the greatest story never told. It's told from the point of view of the animals who are actually there. So you hear from a donkey, a sheep, and a dove how each one of them claims responsibility for making the nativity happen. Because the donkey's, he's the one who took them to Bethlehem, Mary and Joseph to Bethlehem, and the dove's the one who took the key for her nest, and that necessitated Mary and Joseph going to the inn and the barn at the inn, and then the sheep who kept them warm all night. So each one of them did contribute something, and they're squabbling amongst themselves about who's more important until a big camel comes in at the end and he says, "Stop, silence! You're all important. You all contributed something." And the goat who's there, she's a newcomer. She says, "Gosh, I wish I were there. I wish I could have seen it." And the camel says, "Well, every time you help someone in need, as the donkey did, or every time you encourage someone to have faith in the unexpected, as the dove did, or every time you give someone warmth and comfort, as the sheep did, every time you do those things, you share the spirit of Christmas. Can you do that?" And the little goat says, "Yes, yes, yes." And with that, the lights change, the set expands, glitter falls from the sky, and before you know it, onto the stage come real animals that replace the puppet animals. A real donkey, real sheep, real doves, and real camels. 3 real camels come through the house, and Mary and Joseph appear, and we create the nativity scene. The beautiful, glorious tableau as the curtain falls.
So it's really got that universal message, and it sounds like it's got the perfect SeaWorld tie-in with the animals, just really bringing that spirit of Christmas and the really universal themes.
Yes, universal themes. It's very inclusive. It's a story that talks about the themes of just, being a good person on this earth, really, is what it comes down to, and things we all want to aspire to. And the magical thing about it are the animals. And I find it both interesting and not necessarily coincidental that in this wonderful story, as much as the people are there, the animals were there. The animals were as present as anyone else in that story, and we bring those animals in, all the creatures of the earth together, creatures of the air, creatures of the earth, and of course we're at SeaWorld, so it includes obviously creatures of the sea. They're all connected, they're all there, and it's a very inclusive story in many, many ways and on many, many levels.
And it sounds like it'll really appeal to everybody in the family. The Christmas story, the animals, of course, kids love animals and puppets, so it really sounds like this is going to hit all the age groups.
Yeah, that was sort of our intention, and of course, we do the shows. So we sit there and go, wow, this is a show we'd love to see, and if it's a show that we'd love to see, we think it's a show everybody would love to see. But we do want to make sure that it's something that would appeal to children who, as you say, love puppets and animals. Also, the score, though, the score is completely contemporary. It's upbeat, it's rock, and it's very Lee-like. So audience members who come will hear songs that they know treated in a very contemporary, fun, exciting, thrilling way. In a way these songs, to my mind, have never been heard. So you have that going for you as well. So I think it's a show that when you leave, whether you're with your grandmother, your son, your daughter, your sister, the whole family can leave saying, "God, that was a great show."
Well, that's great. Thank you so much for sharing with us,
Thank
and we're
you.
looking forward to it.
We look forward to having you see it. Thanks so much.
Okay, a lot of work went into the choreography and the music for A Wondrous Night here at SeaWorld, and we are with the talented people who put that all together. So first off, can you tell a little bit about what it was like to kind of meld together, 30 Christmas carols?
It was a challenge. We were going for as many as we could, but in a cohesive way, and we wanted to choose ones that supported the theme that we were talking about, whether it was the theme of protection or the theme of comfort, and all the different things that go along with the stories that we tell with the puppets. But at the same time, we wanted to create these exciting, fun numbers with lots of sections. We wanted to give Wendy a lot of stuff to do with choreography and movement. And at the same time, we wanted to create a variety of styles. We have gospel style, we have a big, beautiful ballad, we have fun pop, energetic contemporary music. all to the the Christmas carols that we all know and love, songs that we can sing along to in the audience, just done in a slightly different way. So that was our challenge, and I think we successfully accomplished our goals.
And what was it like doing the choreography for so many different styles? Was that a challenge, or did that actually kind of make it more fun?
Oh, way more fun. Way more fun. It gave us some different palettes to choose from with dance, and it challenged the dancers in different ways. So it keeps a nice variety and liveliness to the show. There's a nice little sort of arc of movement that matches very well, I think, to what Ben has created. Like I said before, he's given me this great score to just go off and play. And so, yeah, I get to pull from so many different disciplines. So kind of get to see a little of everything, actually.
So it's really something to please everybody, it sounds like, in the show. And were there any challenges kind of working in that animal viewpoint? Because that's a little bit different of a take on the Christmas story. So like both musically and doing the choreography, how did you work that in? Or what considerations did you give to that?
Well, fortunately, most of the singing is done by, we call them the angels.
Yeah.
And those are humans, fortunately. Human, I guess, half human, half angel. And I don't know, are angels human? And so fortunately, a lot of the big number, the dancing, we see humans and angels. And then when we go into the scenes, it's and then of course at the end, it's sort of a big, not that the animals are singing, but it's a big combination of humans, angels, and animals, and puppets. So fortunately, it's not animals actually singing the.
The puppets aren't actually singing and dancing a lot of the time. They're in their own scene work with dialogue, and then we break open that scene, and the angels come out and they sing a medley and dance to that medley that's in supportive of the scene that we just saw. And yeah, it'd be great if the animals sang. I would come see that for sure.
Yeah, that sounds great, though, the way that you kind of work that in as an ensemble. Sounds like it's going to be a great show. And how long have you guys been working on this?
A few months here and there,
Since the summer.
Since the summer, we've been meeting and talking about it and creating with BT and Court and everybody. And Ben and Emery and BT did previous rehearsals to this, so it was nice. We got the actors a little early. They could learn the music, they could learn the lines, they could learn the puppetry, and then I came in day one of rehearsal, which was 2 weeks ago, and was able to just get the dance on them and play with that.
Excellent. Well, it sounds like it's all come together, and we're looking forward to coming out to SeaWorld and see the Christmas celebration.
Love to have you guys.
Thank you. We're here with Kurt Watson at SeaWorld, and he worked on the set design for the A Wondrous Night show, which is a story of the nativity through the eyes of the animals. So can you tell us what was the biggest challenge about putting this together and working with both puppets and live animals that would be using your set?
I think the biggest challenge is to create the set in such a way that it exists in puppet scale and then also in animal scale. So the set kind of has two phases, well, three really. The first phase is the manger in its puppet scale, so everything is smaller, the mangers are tinier, and then we have our musical interlude, our medley sequences, and that's where we go into our Glee style show choir reviews with 34 of our favorite traditional Christmas carols mixed together. And then at the end of that, we reveal the set, and before our very eyes, it grows to become real animal scale. And then it's the puppet camel is this big and the roofline is this big, and then we bring in a real camel who's this big, and the roofline grows proportionately.
So basically you have that seamless transition between the puppet animals and the real animals. And I understand with the puppeteers, and there's a lot of dancing, so did that pose any challenge with the set design, or was that pretty easy to work around?
Well, everything is a challenge that I look forward to meeting. One of the things that we have to do is have a dance floor, an adequate dance space. We have 14 dancers and 2 soloists in the show, so that means that everyone needs room to move. If you try to cram all of that into a tiny space, it doesn't work. And also our animals require a lot of space, and how we began this process, I did what I call a sketch ground plan. So I draw what I think everything is going to look like from above, and then I got the measurements of the animals from Slaven, our animal trainer, and then we moved those all around like a game of Battleship, moving them to make sure that the camel has enough room that the camel can actually turn and be comfortable in the space.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for sharing that with us, and we're looking forward to the show.
Thanks so much. Merry Christmas.
We're here with Slaven, and he is animal trainer extraordinaire, and he has worked with the animals in this new show. And who do we have here?
This is Ziggy, the alpaca.
Ah, and so Ziggy's one of the stars?
He's one of the many stars in our menagerie. We have 2 sheep, 2 goats, a donkey, a zebu, which is a miniature Brahma bull, Ziggy, of course, which is an alpaca, and we have 3 dromedary camels.
Oh wow! So it's when people come out to see this, they're going to see a true menagerie.
Oh, it really is. This is the real deal. So yeah, everybody really needs to come and see this show. I think it's a show, a Christmas show. Never anybody done anything like this. So.
Yeah, that unique twist. And what behaviors did you train the animals to do? What will they see on stage?
They're not so much trained behaviors like if we talk about behaviors in the show, as they're just coming out and being part of the nativity scene, and all of them being together with all the actors and the puppets.
And was that challenging to get them used to the puppets and the things, or they pretty much take it in stride?
They take it in stride. It wasn't so much challenging as it was, I would say, time-consuming to go very slow in little bits and pieces, so nobody gets upset and nobody has any problems with anything. We get the animals together and always make it a positive experience for them, and then we bring the animals and the puppets together and make that very pleasant for the animals, and then the actors have spent a lot of time with the animals, just helping the trainers groom them and pet them and walk them and giving them treats. So the end result of all that is that the animals all want to come on stage and be with the actors and the puppets.
Yeah, it sounds like they associate it with good times and positive things.
That's the whole idea of positive reinforcement, positive training. It just takes a long time.
Yes, I can imagine that patience is one of your biggest attributes.
Well, I'd like to think so.
Yes, and what's your favorite animal to work with in the show?
That's a tough question. I love all of them. They all have their own individual personalities, and we try to really take advantage of that. As trainers, we want to try to give every animal what he likes, let him be next to who he likes. Some of the camels prefer to be next to this one. Camel 1 wants to be next to camel 3. Camel 2 doesn't want to be in the middle, so we situate them accordingly. And I like all of them.
And it sounds like it's a lot of learning their personality and working with their personality too, just like people, it sounds like.
That's a very big factor. Ziggy here, he and the Zebu actually happen to like each other a lot. So BT McNicholl was very carefully figured out the Zebu and the alpaca could be in the show together and next to each other on stage, and it's worked out really well.
So they get to be divas a little bit too and kind of decide what they want to do.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much for sharing with us. And
thanks for coming out. Please come out and see the show. It's really going to be different from anything else.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thanks.